It's time to LOL. Listen out loud, that is. It's time for Anime Jam Session with DJ Ranma S, Mako-chan, and Ari Rockefeller.
Hey everybody, welcome to Anime Jam Session, episode number 646. Excuse me. We are that podcast that talks about anime, games, conventions, the fandom, geek stuff, and everything in between. I'm DJ Ranma S.
And I am Mako-chan.
And Ari is off tonight. He's working the mid shift. He'll be back next week. By the way, we may or may not have a show next week. Handling some moving stuff, so we'll see what happens after everything is all settled and taken care of. So I'm hoping that things come together the way it should, and I have internet in a new place and all that stuff. If not, we'll figure something out one way or another. If there's no internet where I'm moving to, I'll probably hang out at somebody's house for internet for like 2-3 days and return. At least I'll have like a 4-day mini vacation from work though. Anywho, Mako-chan, how are you doing tonight?
Meh.
That's a step up from meh.
Yeah, it's meh, but it's meh.
I hear that. So we are live tonight, week of August 27, 2024, right here on Twitch TV. We're here live Tuesdays from 9 to 10:30 p.m. Eastern. You will always find us on Twitch TV/Anime Jam Session. I think come September, October, I may be launching a couple of new shows. It all depends on how things go with work and going to cons and stuff. I think I have something fun in store. If it comes to fruition, I will let you all know. And we'll also probably be part of the Voice of Geeks Network at vognetwork.com. You can always find out information about them and other shows that are part of the network and cool articles and reviews at vognetwork.com. And they're also on Twitch, so you can show some support with them over at Twitch TV/VogNetwork. And come hang out in our Discord, vognetwork.com/Discord. Every show that's part of the Voice of Geeks Network, that's what VOG stands for, has a channel. So come through, hang out, enjoy the water, leave articles, all that cool stuff. You know, we're here for you, you know? So now that we got that out the way, gonna kick things over to Mako-chan and ask her how was her day and how was her week?
Not horrible. It's been very stressful at work, but I mean, other than that, everything's been okay. I've just been, hanging out with Cassie. She's been very clingy.
I understand.
But yeah, so I've been playing some Persona 3. I've been reading some smut.
Of course.
Yeah, I have not watched Sailor Moon yet. So I have been very bad, but that is on the docket for some point this weekend.
Hold on, just giving some friends some positive reinforcements. All right, so my weekend day was slightly different, but I went to work. I went to Anime NYC, and I will talk about that later in our show. And we do have a review of the con coming up in the next week or so. A guest of the show, friends of the show, will be writing our report, so that'll be going up. I did see Sailor Moon Cosmos. We'll get into that during our Geek Roundtable. I spent more money than I should, and looking back, I realized that, and I'm like, no regrets. I had to deal with some personal drama at the con, which, well, it wasn't really, it's kind of con related, but I won't get into that. But I think that triggered that impulse buy, and shit happens, so I'm not too worried about it. So that's basically has been my week and day. So I'm going to go ahead and let you know about some housekeeping tips. That video podcast equivalent of this show is available on our YouTube page Thursdays at 12 noon. YouTube.com/Anime Jam Session. Click on, I believe, podcasts, and it comes right up. The funny thing is, I always put it out there, but I just assume where it is. So I'm going to pull it up right now. If you go to our web page at youtube.com/anime jam session. Click on the podcast tab, and episodes are right there. There's a massive playlist, so enjoy them. I also need to update our playlist, so you can click on, we have various playlists on our YouTube page where you can just check out our podcast. If you want to see videos from a con, if you want to just sit down and marathon masquerades and other cool stuff, definitely check that out. We really appreciate your love and support on that. Also, as I mentioned at the top of the show, there may or may not be a show next week due to moving algorithms and all that digger-do and all that cool, all that chaos. So if there is a show next week or not, you will know. Please stay tuned to our socials for updates on that. All right, next up is Geek Roundtable. This is where we talk more about the geek gear aspects of our lives and what we have been up to. All right, Mako, tell the class.
Keanu?
You mean Shadow Wick versus everyone?
Yes, I saw that. That was, I really like Shadow as a character. I just like the whole Sonic thing, but Shadow I really like as a character. And the fact that Keanu is voicing him, I think is, I think it works.
Yeah.
At the same time, watching the trailer today, I'm just like, that's just John Wick.
Well, yeah, and it looks like the third Sonic movie is going to be pretty dark. Now, please understand, I've only played Sonic Adventure. I have not played the second one, which I really need to, which gets me more information as to what's going on. I just love how the movies are taking so many elements from Sonic Adventure and Sonic X and just rolling it together. I like that. Sonic Adventure was a fun game. One of Kyle Aber's earliest works. He was Big the Cat. Didn't realize it till after the fact. So now that we're talking about Keanu, please continue.
Yeah, so this is one of the things that I purchased for myself at the Dog Star show 2 weeks ago, or a week and a half ago, whatever. It is, me collecting, crap that I really don't need and adding to my vinyl collection. And I really like this one because the vinyl itself is lime green and I freaking love it.
Well, green is your favorite color.
It is my favorite color.
All right. So for my Geek Roundtable, I have not caught up with Elf Goes on a Diet or Oshinoko yet. I was busy doing other things like packing for the con. I've watched a couple more episodes of Tales of Wedding Rings, which is really good. I'm enjoying that. I'm coming down to the end on that one. Me and CC Graywitch, we actually chilled in the hotel after Friday, watching Sailor Moon Cosmos. So, and I come to the realization either a lot of shit that happened here I'm new to, or B, I need to go back and refresh my memory and reread the manga, which I need to do. But I think it's more of B. And I also realize if you watch Cosmos, you understand, you'll be reminded about how dark the Sailor Moon manga really is. I just find it amusing that everybody watches Sailor Moon, they've watched the anime and see how cute and klutzy Usagi is, and it's a comedic thing. But when you read the manga, Usagi isn't really a klutz. He turns into this boss bitch that takes care of business. And you realize there is a lot of death in the manga. And I remember I was talking to another friend of the show, Steph Moon. You know her as that Lady Alcrea. And I said, that Eternal and Cosmos needs to be 12 or 24 episode series to flesh things out. And she goes, well, there's no need for that because it'll be a Monster of the Day type, and there'll be transformation, so we're not going to miss much. We're going to miss a lot of. There's not going to be much to be put in every episode. And I thought about that. Yes, almost every magical girl anime you watch, there is a monster of the day, and there is a transformation sequence. Who says that there has to be? I mean, I understand Naoko is done, and here are the books. I still feel they should have sat down and been like, what if we spread out some stuff, kind of explore a couple things, to kind of flesh stuff out and so forth, you know? Like, let's have like a more deeper boss battles, you know? Maybe if they did something like that. So maybe, maybe they did do that. And you don't have to, have a monster of the day in every episode, Episode 1, this happens, there's a monster of the day, they transform, whatever. It leads into shit that goes into the second episode, that leads into shit that goes into the third episode, and then you have another something like that. I mean, I think the first few episodes of Sailor Stars was like that, I think there was a couple of episodes of Crystal in season 3 that were like that. So theoretically, you could do it. But I will say this much. If it's been a while since you've read the manga, read the manga, then watch Cosmos. You'll thank yourself later for it. So that's basically my take of Sailor Moon Cosmos. Now, as for figurines and stuff like that, I have a story to tell. Now, one of the things I did when I was in Japan, especially Akihabara, for those of you who haven't seen the pictures, I bought a lot of shit. Because of the dollar to yen ratio, I bought a lot of shit. And on a side note, Mako, check this shit out. I actually checked my crypto account because I have a crypto account. Back in 2021, it hit as high as $10,000. And I pulled maybe about $1,500 from that just to live off of till I started a job. And eventually, because the crypto boom deflated, it dropped down to about, I think, $2,500 or something like that. So I think a week before my trip to Japan, I pulled $1,000 out of there, and that was my spending money in Japan. So I'm like, okay, fine, whatever. I will let that compound and build up. I happened to check that account a couple of days ago. It's almost at $2,000 again. So I figure if I just let it sit there and just let it build up, right before I go to Japan again, it might be close to 3. So I'll have some money to spend. So I have to worry about my personal savings or putting stuff on the card or whatever. So I'm good with that. Anywho. So like I said, I bought a lot of stuff. And what's cool about Japan is sometimes you don't have to buy the figures that you want. If you go to like some of the arcades and stuff, you could just play the crane games and get those figures, But then again, you could probably spend maybe 500 to 600 yen trying to get the figure, or you can just go to a store and spend between 500 and 1,500 yen and get it. Either or. So, as you all know, my favorite Love Live Sunshine character is Yoshiko Tsushima, which is Yohane. And I watched the Yohane, the Parhelion Sunshine in the Mirror. Yes, I have the game for Xbox. I also have the import copy for PlayStation 5, which is still sealed on my shelf. Which will stay sealed because I've already started playing through the Xbox version. It's a pretty decent Metroidvania type game. So, while I was there, I bought the Yohane, the Parhelion figure. Now, I believe I paid 1,600 yen. And what's funny is by the time when I got back to Akihabara, the day I was leaving to go to Hakone, I actually walked up the street to grab a couple of things from Don Quijote, and I passed a corner anime shop. Same figure was like 900 yen. I was like, well, fuck. I spent $5 more than I expected. Shit happens. Now, one of the things that I did was, when I was buying these figures, I was comparing it to my Otaku Mode wish list, which I should have cross-reference to my pre-order wish list because I ended up buying the Yohane the Parhelion figurine. Now, this one is in pristine condition, the box that is, because this is one that was pre-ordered, and during the pre-show, I pulled like the plastic off. The actual one that I bought, the box is a little bent around and so forth. Now, I didn't realize this till after the fact that I got a notification that it was being shipped, or no. Okay, either I got a notification that it was being shipped, or I just happened to check my pre-orders list. So my friend Ari, who streams on here as well, I sent the extra to her as a holiday gift because she also cosplays Yohane. So as you can see, it's still in the box. When I move, I haven't decided if I'm going to take it out the box yet. I haven't even decided if I'm going to take my display case. I might just put that on the side because it's a glass display case, and I just don't want to do it with the glass. I do know that I'm boxing everything up. I might just get like a white or a light brown cabinet and put some LEDs around it and just be like, boom, here, whatever. We'll figure it out one way or another. So that's been my Geek Roundtable. So now we're going to get into Anime NYC 2024. Okay. As you all know, when it's just me, I just go. I do like a base 10-minute review of the con, 20-minute review, my thoughts and so forth, you know. And on a side note, Bonzolistic says I should build a shrine. I already have a Venus shrine, so I don't know if I'm going to rebuild that when I move. So we'll figure something out one way or another. So let me put this up in the... All right, so I didn't get to the con until a little bit late because I had to handle some personal business that Friday. But I will say this, getting in was pretty smooth. I like the fact that I was able to pick up my press badge at the front instead of having to go into the press office to pick it up. Some cons do either or. Now, I will say this. For the grand scheme of it, there was a little bit of everything for cosplay. If you were looking for groups, you were better off going to the meetups. Because you know how it is lately in the last few years that whatever's popular, the majority of people will be running around in it. And like the last few years, it's been Genshin Impact, My Hero Academia, Demon Slayer, Kimetsu no Yaiba. It wasn't no large groups of that. It really wasn't. It was just a little bit of everything. And I liked that. I even seen some people cosplay. I even see somebody doing Haruhi Suzumiya cosplays, which was great. It did put a smile on my face seeing some Ranma 1/2 cosplays, besides mine and my friend Kelly, who was Shampoo, and my friend Nikki, who was also Shampoo. But another one of my friends was Ranma. That was pretty good. Now, I will say this. Yes, it was packed, but at the same time, it wasn't packed. You could walk around and there was breathing space. You can check it out. It wasn't that bad. And I am glad that the convention center, they got more of the convention center. Now, they moved the main events from the main stage to what was called the Sakura stage, which I don't know if that made sense. Maybe because the way they set up the stage, it was a lot bigger. I honestly don't know. So, I would have liked if they kept it at the main stage because the main stage, there's an actual physical stage you walk up. I should know. I had my college graduation was at the Javits Center and it was in that same main events area, main event stage. So, as Gamer Girl X says, the pictures made it look crowded, but I guess you being from the area, that many people isn't crowded for you. Well, that's kind of true. But on the same token, we've seen pictures from AX, Katsucon, and Otakon, and you see it's crowded. And then people start talking about, oh, I would never go to this con because of the crowds and so forth. And then you find out later that, oh, that was just in the morning and everything was spread out. Don't get me wrong. Don't get it twisted. It was still crowded in some of the aisles for the Artist Alley and the Dealer's Hall. But a lot of it was like basically you could be one person away and it'll be kind of fine to walk back and forth. So that was cool. That was fun. Bob Coffey says it wasn't AX packed, but it was more packed than when I went in 2019. Seems legit. And Bob, I'm sorry we didn't touch base this past weekend. I'll take a partial hit on that. I should have messaged you on Discord and be like, let's go have a beer or something like that. But next time. So my Friday was pretty good. I got some pictures. I didn't stress myself out going from cosplay to cosplay pictures and so forth. I just walked around and did my casual photos. And the same thing for Saturday. Saturday, I went to the Ranma 1/2 panel, and it was great, and I had a fun time. They had a Q&A section, like a trivia question, and people just started walking up. I'm just like, nobody's... And as I started walking up, others went up there. And what was funny was, except for the question they asked me, they asked a series of easy to hard to difficult questions, and I knew the answers to all of them. The one I didn't know, which I got help from, was how many chapters are there of the Ranma 1/2 manga? And I'm just like talking out loud. Okay, so there's 36 volumes. So I'm going to say maybe if there's like 10 chapters per, add a few extras, I'm going to go with 450. And the moderator's like, are you sure about that? I'm like, yeah. He goes, that's incorrect, but since it was a hard one, I'll give you another chance. It's under 450. It's 400 and I'm just sitting there thinking 403. He goes, no, it's a little bit higher. One last chance. And the people behind me go, 7. I go, 407. Evidently, that was the correct answer. And because it was such a difficult question, I ended up with 2 $25 gift cards to Hot Topic.
Nice.
Thanks. And I will be buying some Ranma 1/2 swag because in case you haven't heard, Ranma 1/2 Viz is the official merchandising worldwide rights to Ranma outside of Asia, which is kind of cool. Then again, like the parent company that manages Ranma in Japan kind of also owns Viz, so no surprises there. So, the first episode was great. I liked how they gave it a bit of a manga feel to it. Like when you read the manga, you see like the special effects and the sound effects in the manga for like certain things. That was in the anime, which I thought was pretty cool. I enjoyed that. They didn't play the opening or the ending, but I really enjoyed it. It was really nice to see Ranma 1/2 in HD. And it's going to be exclusive to Netflix. It will be dubbed in some countries. They have not announced an English dub track yet. I would assume probably like in 6 months we hear the announcement of a dub track. So watch it in Japanese with English subtitles and in English dub language. After that, I went back to my room, relaxed, changed, and went back. Now, for the first time in like 15 plus years of me doing convention coverage, I skipped the masquerade.
Yeah, I saw how late it was starting. That's ridiculous.
Yes. Now, most conventions, the masquerade usually will start between 5:30 and 6:37, give or take. Your average masquerade is about 2 hours. And that includes getting everybody in the seats, playing music to get people pumped, the actual masquerade, a halftime show, AMV Awards if they do that, and then bringing the judges out to announce the winners. Under 2 hours tops. Now, one year, I was there for, I think it was 2019, the masquerade went to 11 o'clock, and I'm just like, this is ridiculous. I actually was commuting back and forth for the con, and I had to go into work that Sunday morning for a side project that I didn't get out till late because my supervisor didn't like the job I did on the cabling. But anyhow, story for another time. Maybe I am getting old. I don't know. But having a masquerade at 8 o'clock at night was a little bit too much for me. So I ended up hanging out with some friends doing photography and going back to my room and ordering Italian with CC Raywich. And that was it. And I was done. Sunday, I walked around, did some more photography. I missed the masquerade panel that I wanted to check out, and it kind of threw me for a loop because some stuff happened with a friend that I was supposed to work with about something, and it kind of threw me for the whole day. Which is why I ended up like doing retail therapy and buying all those gashapons for almost $400. And I'll say, yeah, I know that was overpriced. I found a site that was selling them for dirt cheap, but I don't know if they're official or bootleg. So, but given the site, they're generally official. I've seen them go as pretty expensive on eBay. So, you know, it is what it is. So there's that. And I bought other stuff. I bought myself a shirt. And yes, Mako, I got you a couple things. One of them, I think one of the things I got you, you're going to be very giddy over. And it's say what?
Yeah. I said, yeah, I guess we'll see.
Oh, it's going to go into your new office. Believe you me. And I also got you something else that makes you a step closer to being a fruit fly, even though you already are. But this just adds to your accessories.
Oh God.
I just had to get this one for you, so you'll see it soon enough. So now, one of the issues that I had with the con that I ran into last year, those of you know the Javits Center, when you walk, there's a section on the right hand side. Evidently, I guess this was going on for a few years. I just never paid it any mind. But there's a section set up on the right side, and it's mostly Asian or Chinese cosplayers. Now, I knew when it comes to AX, Katsu, and Otakon, there are people who travel internationally for those conventions. Evidently, they do this for Anime NYC, which kind of surprised the living daylights out of me, because I don't think this con is that worthy, but hey, it is what it is. So, last year, I walked over there, and there was a language barrier, but I was able to get some photos with a few people. By I guess my English was good enough for them, and I was talking to a couple of my Chinese friends who cosplay, and they were basically telling me that they don't really mess with those cosplayers because I think there's an issue with the language dialect and the fact that they're American born and not from the homeland or something like that. And I'm just like, that's kind of fucked up, but I get it and I see it. So this year, I walked over here on a Friday and I saw it being built up. I was like, no harm, no foul. And then Saturday, there was there were stanchion poles put out to basically block that whole area off. I mean, you could walk in and out of here, but I was like, damn, that's kind of fucked up. And it was also there on Sunday as well. Now, last year when that was set up, I'm going to assume the reason why they put the stanchions up because eventually that area wasn't just for the Chinese cosplayers that were doing photography and videos and TikToks and stuff. There were other minorities that started going in over there to take pictures and so forth. I guess they got offended or bothered by that. So, I don't know. So, seeing that this year, I didn't bother. I just went about my way and said, you know what? I got other things to do. Now, I will say this as a whole. Anime NYC is starting to make its way up there as a top contending convention for cosplay. I would believe like the first couple of years of Anime NYC, people went because we finally have an anime con in New York City. Everyone went for that. And now it's become more like Anime NYC has become like a top tier, top contender for masquerades and cosplay. It's just a matter of time that they hold WCS finals or quarterfinals or something there. It's just a matter of time that happens.
Yeah, that actually wouldn't surprise me.
No.
In the next 2 or 3 years.
No. I will say there was also a very good mix of industry and fan-run panels. That's good. So you're going to get a little bit of Otakon style panels, a little bit of AX style panels, and you're going to roll with it. I also like the fact that because if there are panels in the Sakura stage, you can get quote unquote virtual tickets for this ahead of time. And I like that. I mean, granted, when I tried to get tickets get in for the Ranma panel, the first time it went sold out. And thankfully through my friend Omari, who said he was going to give me his QR code to get in, I actually went to check the queue. I was able to get a ticket and jump in because, so I guess some people canceled their registration to go to other panels, which was great. The same thing was for the Masquerade. I like the fact that the very popular panels, you had to basically pre-reg to get in, and they were letting people in 20 minutes prior. And then there was a section on the side for like those who show up like if you wait like an hour or so, you know? So I would say Anime NYC is a fun con to go to. But here's the thing. Unless you are rolling with a crew, I really wouldn't go. There are other big name conventions that are out there that are worth it, if you ask me. I like the fact that they took out the Crunchyroll stage and turned that into like a chill area / cosplay changing booths. That was great. I enjoyed that. Bob Coffey says autographs were kind of a shit show. Well, here's the thing. I got 2 autographs. I'm glad I bought them in advance. But here's the thing. They need to crack down on the autographs. I have seen people pull books and pops and all of this that need to be signed, like a whole bunch of stuff. Thankfully, some voice actors and some guests do not sign pops, this or that, which I totally get and I understand and I respect that. I really think that all autographs should be pre-reg, and there should be a separate line for that. Like, or there's a normal line, but you check in with the staffers running that line. You'd be like, I prepaid for an autograph. You get pushed to the front of the line. They should do something like that and have an option where if you want to purchase additional autographs there, you can do that. But at least you could purchase one additional, something like that. I didn't wait too long for the 2 autographs I wanted, but that was fine. I like the fact that the con is in the summertime, but it is sweltering back and forth. I think they need to push the con closer to September when it's a little bit cooler. And in a discussion I had with someone, they're like, well, that means they're competing with CCE, and I don't want to decide. Well, you go back about 20 years ago, con chairs actually worked with each other to have the dates for the conventions and give people optimum choices of attending. Now you have so many conventions going on, it's kind of hard not to. Like, the convention circuit is just saturated. It's just pick and choose. People think that the con was in the summer to compete with AX and Otakon. No, that's when they were able to get the full convention center. I also get tired of these hustlers out here talking about free CDs, free hats, free downloads. Oh, wait, I need a donate. No, I don't want your stuff. I'm fine. Overall, I'm glad, I'm happy that Anime NYC, there's an Anime Con in New York City. I think there should be a second convention, something smaller, something that's capped. I think we should have something like that too. That's just me. Honestly, I think this is going to be my last Anime NYC for a while because I really feel I would really prefer if there was a hotel like right across the street. I would prefer that the people that run the press aspect of the convention give us not a break, but cut us some slack. Like, a lot of us want to go to your event, but we don't. We get shit seats because we're not VIPs or anything like that. The reason why we want not front row, but near the front, so we can get good photography. That's what we want. We just want good. We want to take good pictures. We want to set up our cameras to record and stuff like that. We just want a good spot. We don't. That's all we really care about. So, I mean, overall, I had a pretty decent time. If you've never been to Anime NYC, go at least once. And what's great is there are after parties, and half of them you don't even need a badge to get in. You just have to pay like the non-badge price, and you'll still have just as much fun. They've already announced next year's dates. I think Pop Cult is the same weekend. I think I'm gonna go to New England and go to Pop Cult instead next year. So, again, if you've never been to Anime NYC, go once. Compare it to other big name conventions and tell me what you think. Outside of that, it's good. Nice variety of everything. A little bit of great cosplays from the old school to the modern. So that's basically my take on it. Mako, got any more questions for me before I shut this down?
Hmm. No, I don't think so.
Okay, great. All right, now we got that out the way. Let's get into some news tonight. And as Bob Coffey says, Ace is perfectly sized, not so big, not too small. Maybe next year, we will see. I think right now a bunch of us are planning to do NDK, so we'll see how they do it up, you know? And he also says, I'll do MNYC if they bring me Love Live stuff or have concert with a group of artists I like, since that's what it takes me to get out of Cali. You know, as I am a big Love Live fan. Yes, I missed the opportunity to do a meet and greet with Naomi Payton, who's Sumire and Love Live Superstar. But I'm like, it is what it is. It's not the end of the world. I mean, now if I had like an awesome Sumire sweater or shirt to wear, then hell yeah! Like when I met the voice actress for Yohane, when she saw my Yohane Bullet Club shirt and the cool sweater that my sister Holly made, like hoodie that my sister Holly made, you know, yeah. But other than that, all right. Enough about that. We will have more on Anime NYC on our website in upcoming weeks for our review. Hopefully, in the next few weeks, in the next 2 or 3 weeks, I should have the convention photos edited and posted on our YouTube page. And yeah, maybe I'll put together like a little like collage video or something like that. Post it. We'll see. Anywho, Mako, you want to kick things off with our news tonight?
Sure.
Thank you. I kind of need a little time to rest my voice.
Yeah, so, Anime NYC teamed up with Japan Society to host the inaugural American Anime Awards. Yeah, so, for those awards.
Wait, hold it. I think you mean the inaugural Anime Manga Awards. There's a typo in the article here, I believe.
Oh, yeah, it is. It is the Manga Award.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, there were 6 main categories, and so the first ever award winners are the best new manga is DRCL Midnight Children, which is based on Bram Stoker's Dracula. The best continuing manga is Delicious in Dungeon.
That was a good animated too.
The best new edition of classic manga is Neighborhood Story. the best translation is to Stephen Kohler for Witch Hat Atelier. Is that how you say that?
Atelier.
Atelier?
Yeah. There's a few animes that have that games that have that title, Atelier.
The best lettering goes to Lise Blakesley, also for Witch Hat. And best publication design goes to Adam Grano, designing for My Name is Shingo. So that's kind of cool.
Yeah. Like one of these names sounds familiar. Ayazawa. Yeah, I thought so. Yeah, she did Princess Ai and Paradise Kiss and Nana. Okay. Okay.
Yeah, so the video of the awards ceremony will be up on the Anime NYC website soon. I don't know if it's up there yet, but it should be up there. If it's not up there yet, it should be up there soon.
Okay, that's pretty
I
cool.
think that's kind of cool that they are having something like this for, the, I guess, the translation version.
Mhm.
Not necessarily, for the Japanese version coming over, but for those that work to allow English speakers to be able to read the manga. I think that's kind of cool.
As do I. I think that's pretty cool too. All right. So next thing we're going to talk about is how WebToon is cracking down on piracy. And I've been seeing some discussions about that. Like, there's a popular anime site that's been shut down for the same thing, and people are upset and pissed about it. Evidently, these are people that are cheap asses that don't want to pay for their anime. Look, you might hate the corporations, but remember, there are people that work in these corporations that are making a living. Whether you like it or not, they do get a piece of that pie. So, and Cedarberry says it's atelier. It's French. Like fragile. And he says perfect. Okay. You got me on that one. Okay. So here's the thing. As you know, WebToon is one of the world's most popular webcomics platforms with over 170 million active users. And because of that, they're ramping up their efforts to crack down on piracy following new legal action that happened this month. They are hoping to pinpoint the identities of over 170 pirate site operators through new DMCA subpoena requests. As per Torrent Freak, the popular domain registrar and content delivery service Cloudflare was the recipient of these requests, which were filed at a Texas federal court this month. WebToon's anti-piracy partner, Remove Your Media, stated in the documents, the purpose of the company's subpoena is to obtain the identity of the alleged copyright infringers in control of the internet domain websites listed in the subpoena. The information obtained will be used only for the purposes of protecting the rights granted by my client. Naturally, many operators won't provide said identities, which reduces the efficiency of these requests. Nevertheless, since domains can be bought directly from Cloudflare, the company reserves the right to terminate or suspend those sites at its discretion. A successful subpoena request would bolster the legitimacy to take this action. Assuming the websites aren't registered directly with Cloudflare, the company will work with the rights holder to direct them to the correct place or as per its assisting copyright holders page. So basically, if your domain and your hosting is through Cloudflare and they get a subpoena, yeah, they're going, if done right, they're going to be like, yeah, you can't do this anymore and shut you down. But if you just have one or the other, they'll kind of point them in the general direction. And what this page does, they can turn over the sensitive information on infringing customers, such as the origin IP addresses. MangaFire, Manga Reader, Assuratune, and others are part of these subpoena requests. And these sites have millions of users. Webtoon has 56 monthly million page visits or users, more or less. Manga Fire with 26.6. Manga TX.to 6.6. Basically, somebody will sub to to Webtoon and get all of the mangas or whatever, download them, and just pass them out. Webtoon's latest anti-piracy efforts filed subpoena requests made by ACE, the Alliance for Creativity and Entertainment. I believe we talked about them on a prior episode as well. Comprising companies such as Netflix, Amazon, and Sony. They requested the personal information of 5 major anime piracy site operators with a combined 137 monthly visits through similar subpoena requests. They collaborate with the Japanese anti-piracy organization known as CODA, which is Content Overseas Distribution Association, and also working with the Korean equivalent. And Brazilian law enforcement has launched 11 police raids on 11 homes earlier this year. CODA member Shueisha, one of the biggest manga publishers in the world, recently rolled out a new survey via its Manga Plus app, hoping to understand the reader's habits surrounding both legal and illegal means. Okay. You don't need to do a survey or something like that. The majority of people who pirate is because they can. Even if they have the money. They just want it now. That's all it is. I know people who would rather pirate it as opposed to borrowing somebody's login because, oh, what if something happens to the series and I can no longer watch my anime or I can no longer read my manga? It's gone to the wastelands. And I get that. But still, I mean, if you're fans of various series, you gotta show your support with your fandom one way or another. And sometimes buying merch from it simply does not help. Again, it's one thing if the books or the anime is so out of print where copies are astronomically priced. I understand that to a certain extent. I do. But but you rather pirate like all 40 episodes of this awesome anime as opposed to dropping like $50 on a box set, and you have the money, and the fact that dropping the $50 is not going to break your wallet, No, even if it does, you can always wait for someone to buy a used copy or something like that. And Bonzo6 says, as asking, the takedown are aimed at the manga only or anime and manga? No, the takedown was only aimed at the manga. I'm just talking about people who like to pirate both manga and anime because they can. Anywho, we're going to get into our next story here. This is up Mako-chan's fandom alley. So we're going to talk about Fushigi Yugi.
Oh, yeah, give me 1 second. So Fushigi Yugi is celebrating its 35th anniversary, and when I read that, I felt so fucking old.
I know that feeling.
Yeah. So the 1990s was kind of the highlight of shoujo manga. Obviously there was Sailor Moon, but a little bit prior to that was Fushigi Yugi. And that series is going to be celebrating its 35th anniversary, and they are going to be having an exhibition for it. So you will be able to see original art from the manga series at this exhibition. So the official Twitter account for Fushigi Yugi announced the Yu Watse World Fushigi Yugi exhibition on May 24th. This exhibition is taking place between August 9th and 21st, so it's over already. which sucks. Um, yeah, so it is obviously celebrating the artist's work. And just before the exhibition, Watashi took to her Twitter account and posted and remarked about the quality of the exhibition, saying, "Whoa, today I went to check out the original art exhibition. You see, you can't tell from outside the booth, but inside it's intense. LOL. Over 250 pieces means I was happy seeing all the past editors and other people involved who had gathered in the evening, but at the same time, I felt like, is this a public execution?" However, many people commented the art is worth seeing and in excellent condition, and they were not faded and didn't look like they were painted 30 years ago. Maybe it was a good idea to let them sleep in the closet. You can see them in almost perfect condition. Everyone was smiling today, so I hope everyone who comes starting tomorrow will be the same. But I laughed when one of them said, if I were to look at each one carefully, it would take 5 hours, so I just looked at them quickly. Before going in with the person in charge, we decided to have tea or a meal while we were looking around until everyone else arrived, but no way, an hour has passed since the start of Fushigi Yugi. The crowding is intense. Everyone be prepared. Editors, as well as by people who have been kind to me, said, I'll send them to you, and they sent flowers. So, yeah, that's kind of sad that it's over. I'm very upset.
There, 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 there.
What really sucks is there was no photography allowed inside.
Mm-hmm.
There's no pictures of what was going on, which is very, very upsetting.
Well, maybe they'll do a release compilation later this year or something.
I mean, that would be nice. That would be kind of cool if they, took some of the art and re-released it.
Yep.
But I'm hoping that something, that with everything going on and so many, manga artists coming back and doing, either reprints or reproductions or, all of that, it would be really nice if they, came back and, re-released in a special edition or something.
All right, let's see. Our last story of the night before we get to our new section called Quick News, which is basically just 2 or 3 articles that kind of hit the ground, that didn't hit the outline, but just want to kind of say something real quick, or something like that. We don't want to go too deep into it. Now, one of my favorite animes is the Rascal Does Not series. And for a while, I kept holding out on buying the Blu-rays because they were expensive and it was only subtitled. There was no dub track or anything. So eventually, I just said, "Fuck it," and I bought them, and I think I paid under $120 something for them. Now I need to get my hands on the second movie. But on top of that, it seems that the TV series and the first movie is getting a dub, and this was announced at Anime NYC. Aniplex of America confirmed that they will produce an English dub for both the anime and the movie. Rascal Does Not Dream of Bunny Girl Senpai, better known as Seishon Buta Yaro wa Bunny Girl Senpai no Yume no Minai, the first television anime based on the light novel, premiered in Japan back in October 2018 for 13 episodes. The anime adapts the story up to the 5th novel volume, and the series is available on Crunchyroll and other services. Now we have the first movie, which is Rascal Does Not Dream of a Dreaming Girl, Seishun Buta Yaro wa Yume Miru Shoujo no Yume wo Minai. This adapts 6th and 7th volumes of the light novel, which opened up in Japan in June of 2019. And this was screened in the US via Aniplex of America and Funimation Films. A sequel anime that came out earlier this year, I believe was a two-pack movie. Rascal Does Not Dream of a Sister Venturing Out and Rascal Does Not Dream of a Knapsack Kid. These adapt the 8th and 9th volumes of the franchise. That's pretty cool. The first... Now, let's see what we have here. Okay. Now, we have... that's right. It was earlier this year. It was last year, not this year. My bad. It seems that the first film, Sister Venturing Out, opened up in Japan in June 2023. Knapsack Kid opened up in December 1st. Wait. Oh, so it was this year. I'm reading this wrong. My apologies. The films came out here on March 24th, and the English dub came out on March 25th. Now, we're going to have another anime series coming out next year. I believe we talked about this somewhere on the podcast earlier this year. They're adapting the university student arc of the light novel series, and it will premiere as a television anime in 2025 known as Rascal Does Not Dream of Santa Claus, better known as Seishun Butayato Santa Claus no Yume wo Minai. Kadokawa published the first novel in the series, Rascal Does Not Dream of Bunny Girl Senpai, in April 2014. The series is celebrating its 10th anniversary this year. It has more than 3 million copies in circulation. The 14th novel, called Rascal Does Not Dream of a Girlfriend, shipped on August 9th. The 15th and final volume, Rascal Does Not Dream of a Dear Friend, will release on October 10th. Each volume will have a limited edition that will bundle a drama CD. So, if I'm looking at this correctly, 8th and 9th novels have been adapted. I'm going to assume that the university student arc is probably going to cover books 10 to 13, give or take. And then hopefully the last two light novels will either get 2 separate movies or maybe a final anime series to wrap it all up together. And I will say this, it's a really good anime. This is not one of those animes where you can marathon it in an entire weekend, unless you are into like deep animes that make you think. This is one of those where after about 2 or 3 episodes, it is so deep, you need to let it all sink in. Let your brain absorb it. And then once it's all in, then you go back and watch it some more. It's not every day you come across an anime series that can fit so much in so little time. It's pretty deep. So that's one of the reasons why I really enjoyed watching that anime. And they announced the dub. Watch me drop another $130 something on those Blu-rays. And will I be selling the ones I bought? Absolutely not. So we have quick news. Basically, a few things we're going to talk about real quick before we get into Meanwhile in Japan. One thing on quick news is I came across my feed this morning. Announcements that one of my favorite actresses, Ayaka Komatsu, made an announcement that she is carrying her first child. Congratulations to her and her husband. I believe we talked about on the podcast earlier this year or last year that she was engaged to be married. So I'm happy for her. Congratulations. Wish you the best. Seriously. Let's see what else do we have here. Also, in case you haven't heard, Jujutsu Kaisen is coming down to its last 5 chapters. So that's going to be pretty fun. So if you have not caught up, I would recommend that you do that now. Naruto is getting its own streaming channel on Amazon on their Freevee channel. This is similar to how Pluto TV or Pluto or one of those other free channels. Pluto TV has the Sailor Moon channel. I believe one of the Samsung channels or LG channels, there's an all One Piece channel. There's a Saint Seiya channel, which that's kind of cool. If you don't mind the commercials and it being subtitled, go ahead, enjoy, and watch.
Yeah, Amazon has the Pokemon channel too.
Now that is cool. that's basically what we have in the ways of quick news right now. This is what I just put together. We'll have some more quick news in upcoming episodes to see how things go. So we're good now. It's time for the part of the show that y'all really stick around for. Meanwhile, in Japan. And you know what? I think we should do all three stories tonight.
All right.
And I want to take the first one because this one is kind of near and dear to my heart. All right, Mako, which one are you taking?
I think I want to take the third one.
All
but
right.
if you're tired of talking, then I can take the second one.
No,
too.
we'll just go back and forth. So you can just take the third one, and then I'll do the second one or something.
Okay.
So that's what we will do. So I need to have some background music for this one. All right, let me adjust the volume on this. Okay, there we go. All right, because I need some music. So now, if you hear the music in the background, and if you've been to Japan, I think you know where I'm going with this. It's not the actual theme, but it is a cover, just to cover our artists here on Twitch and YouTube. And if you're wondering, we're talking about the mega discount store chain, Don Quijote. It seems that Bruno Mars did a commercial for them. The Kawaii King releases a catchy new bop for Japan's craziest souvenir store. And let me tell you, I bought so many friggin' souvenirs out there, dirt cheap, it wasn't even funny. We've long been singing the praises of Japan's crazy discount retailer Don Quijote. But now there's even bigger voice joining the chorus. Bruno Mars is dedicating an entire bop to it. The catchy new jingle was written and performed by him as a part of a tie-up with the discount chain, which includes a commercial that takes place at the Mega Donkey branch in Shibuya, which I have not seen, so... And his bundle of success... Wait, don't tell me that ad is true. Yes. Yes, it is. At this place, you can find everything from ramen to, adult goods. A visit to Don Quijote, or Donkey, better known as it's known, you'll see, like, when you go to the places, you'll see signs that say Donkey on the side. It's always a fun adventure to go there, but you won't be able to miss without singing the words Donkey Ikuyo, which I'm going to Donkey, which translates to, just as Bruno Mars does in the ad below. He produced the ad to look like a music video, and the store's mascot, Don Pen, even makes an appearance. And the mascot is a penguin, so that's pretty cool. The video has received over 1.5 million likes since it was posted 7 days ago, and viewers have been appreciating not only the jingle, but the star's love of Donkey. Comments such as, the best store in Japan. The music video perfectly encapsulates the extreme sensory overload I feel inside every donkey, and I wouldn't have it any other way. Thank you so much, Kawaii King. Gotta love that he tagged each dancer. It is nice to see that Bruno Mars tipped the hat to each dancer who joined him in the aisles of these stores. And the one leading them all is Miyu, a world-class house dancer who's won numerous domestic and international competitions, including the prestigious Just Debut Battle Contest, which she won in 2017 at the age of 19. She's also danced in the kimono at Nina Ji, a UNESCO World Heritage Site in Kyoto. That's pretty cool. With Mars producing a catchy jingle and an ad for Donkey, the chain is returning the favor with a series of goods to mark the collab, featuring Don Pen and the words Don Quijote in Japanese. It is a typical hoodie or shirt with the mascot and the logo, and the mascot has a fro. There's also hats and matching tote bags. Okay? That's cool. There's also going to be a special pop-up store at the Shibuya Raya Mishihira Park where you can buy an exclusive Hello Kitty Bruno Mars goods. And There's an artwork drawing of Bruno Mars with the glasses. We're reading a book with the big old Hello Kitty hat on. That's really cool. Oh man. This is the second time for these two stars to align, with the first Hello Kitty and Bruno Mars collaborating, proving to be incredibly popular when it was first released back in January. Now, the second range of goods, which can be purchased at the pop-up store and online at printrockmerch.com, there are new designs that incorporate the Don Quixote signature brand colors and font. There are t-shirts, keychains, button badges, mugs, pen cases, candy, and cookies that are available. The pop-up store will only be open for a limited time from August 29th to September 15th, while the online sales will be available from August 29th to September 23rd. Now, the Don Quixote branded goods will be in stores at the chain's branches around Japan from the end of September to mid-October while stocks last. Unfortunately, they won't be there when I go to Japan, but it would be kind of cool if it was. But when I did go, I did buy a shirt that did say Akihabara from Don Quixote, so that is kind of cool. And you know what's funny? I saw the video for it. I was just like, yeah, it's legit. I ain't surprised. As I said, Don Quixote is like the offspring of Walmart and Macy's, okay? All right, Mako, it's on you.
Yeah. Uh, so a 61-year-old was taken into custody after being judged a flight risk. But yeah, so much has been discussed about etiquette of Japanese culture. In reality, though, for foreign tourists traveling in Japan, common sense will get you pretty far. Say please and thank you. If you're stopping somewhere to check a map or dig through your bag, move to the side of the walkway so that other people can get by. Also, refrain from humping in broad daylight at religious sites. Apparently, that was, not taught to certain people. But a 61-year-old Austrian tourist decided that it would be, perfectly okay. So he and a Japanese female acquaintance decided at 11:35 in the morning on August 23rd to have sex on the grounds of a shrine. And though the shrine isn't in a heavily populated area, the witness reported that the pair was engaged in the act in an open, easily seen location. So it's worth noting that especially outside of big cities, it can sometimes be kind of hard to determine the exact boundaries of a shrine's grounds. With Shinto roots in the deification of nature, shrines are often located in forests or on mountainsides, and smaller or older shrines often consist of little more than a freestanding torii gate and a shed-sized structure containing a small altar, with no surrounding fences or walls to designate where the shrine's territory starts and stops.
I want to stop you right there real quick. I just want to throw in there, like, when I was in Kyoto, I was in a shopping arcade that was actually built around multiple shrines, and you can walk in and see the actual shrine, or you can look into certain areas, like in a back area, you can see it's a shrine and this and that. It's kind of noticeable. That's all I want to say.
Yeah, so theoretically, you could have a scenario in which two consenting adults with either a sense of urgency or adventure decided to get it on in the woods without knowing that they were within a shrine's boundaries. However, this doesn't seem to be the case. The witness says the Austrian man was leaning against the shrine building while engaged in the act. Yeah, so Japan is well aware of the fact that sometimes people have a sudden need for a place to have sex, and in fact, there's an entire industry for it with love hotels that rent out rooms for hourly rates. Yeah.
Oh,
So
okay. 20, $20 for 2 hours. Come on. Come on.
yeah. So the pair is now facing charges of disrespecting a place of worship, with the woman, a resident in her 40s, already admitting guilt. The man, on the other hand, has said that he would make a statement. He would not make a statement until he had a lawyer present, and being deemed a flight risk, has been placed under arrest and taken into custody.
Wow.
I'm just like, this has to be one of those things where somebody goes, you know what, I'm gonna join this club. It's like, dude, it's not a plane. It's not the Mile High Club. You don't need to, have sex on every, you know, holy ground that you can get to. But yeah, it's just, what the fuck?
That's wild. No, that is absolutely wild. I mean, in a way, I can understand if it was very expensive to get a hotel, but there are love hotels, 2 hours, $20. It's not going to break your wallet.
No, I don't think it had anything to do with, not being able to stop
It's just more of the if you can get away with it. That I know. Yep.
Yeah.
That's what I kind of figured. It's like, All right. So we're going to get into our last story of the night, and then we're going to basically wrap it up and go about our merry little way here. It seems that a premier love doll maker is closing its doors. Wow. That's all I got to say. Wow. All right. Yep. So basically, it's like this. Orient industry shows that in Japan, the customer is always supposed to be appreciated and respected. It's nice to believe that in this world, the supply of love is infinite and eternal, produced in the hearts of those who found someone to care for. However, the supply of love dolls is limited and is about to get more so with the sudden announcement from Orient Industry, Japan's most prestigious love doll maker. Headquartered in Tokyo's Asakusa's neighborhood, Orient Industry was founded by Hideo Tsuchiya, who was initially employed by a moving company. After that, he worked for a period in the Mizu Shobai industry, which is basically a broad term for adult entertainment, like hostess bars, strip clubs, erotic massage parlors, and all of that stuff. This was going on until a former co-worker from his moving company invited him to work at his adult toy shop in Shinjuku. In those days, love dolls didn't feel good because they were made of vinyl, recalls Tsuchiya, which prompted him to set up his own company, Orient Industry, in 1977. Wow. Experimenting with softer materials with their first product, a love doll called Bisho, meaning subtitle style, was released in 1977, priced at 38,000 yen, which is about under $400. For context, at the time, the average state salary for a four-year college graduate was 97,000 yen, meaning this cost 5 months of white-collar wages. It was a commercial success. As the years went by, they developed a reputation for high-quality silicone-based designs, even opening a showroom gallery for their products at Tokyo's Ueno district. But now, Orient's Industry 47-year history is reaching its climax, pun intended, which is coming with little advance notice and is to be followed by a peaceful rest. On August 21st, the company posted a statement on its official website saying, "This is sudden, but our founder, Hideo Tsuchiya, who has been leading our company, Orient Industry, for many years, has made the decision to retire and prioritize his health. We would like to take this moment to express our sincere gratitude to all of our customers and partners who have believed and supported in Oriental Industries. In consideration of our owner's health condition and respect of his wishes, the company has decided to cease operations. If you're able to keep times we're able to be part of your life, and the times we walk the same path and your memories, we would be very happy." Some might argue that's a needlessly flowy way of saying, hey, thanks for buying our hump dolls. But remember, this is Japan, where customers should always be treated in a way that reflects the company's appreciation and respect. While male horniness is, without question, the firm foundation that the Orient Industry built its business on, that doesn't mean the company didn't care about its customers. In an interview back in 2015, Tsuchiya spoke of how his company goals included providing comfort for widowers or couples where the wife, due to physical ailments or other reasons, could not engage in intercourse. He acknowledged that Japan's Mizu shobai industry is robust. Some men with no other outlet for their urges may feel uncomfortable paying another person for such services. In addition to being a showroom for the company's products, the Ueno showroom has a counseling desk for interested but inexperienced customers looking for accurate information about love dolls from a non-judgmental source. That's kind of cool. So with that all in mind, maybe it's not so strange that after all its enclosure announcement, Orient Industry goes on to say, "We wish you all the best and continued health and happiness." No specific information was regarding on Tsuchiya's health condition, but in 2015, the interview he gave at age 70, meaning he's going to be turning 80 this year, so rather suffering from any particular ailment, he's simply ready to retire and enjoy a more relaxed, restful lifestyle. Orient Industry has already stopped taking orders for new silicone head and body love doll parts. Its Ueno showroom will close on September 20th, and its factory, along with remaining business operations, will shut down October 20th. I guess he opted not to sell. I guess all good things come to an end.
Oh. Ooh.
All right. Ready to call? You ready to call it?
After that, yes.
Sounds like a man. Well, if you like tonight's show, tell a friend. The intern will tell another friend, and so on and so forth. We're independent bloggers, independent podcasters, so what we like and don't like, we'll tell you straight up. If you have any questions about the show, you can send us emails to podcast@animejamsession.com. We're here to believe you. And if you hated my pun, you can drop me a line at ranma@djranmas.net. And Bond06 says, I should not be proud of that, but I am. So, if you like the podcast, tell other people. Share it around. You can find us on Anchor FM, iHeartRadio, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you use to download your podcasts. And what's cool is some of these sites you can leave reviews. So if you can, drop us a review. We'd appreciate that. Then while you do that, check out our website at animejamsession.com, where you will find our weekly podcast. Cosplay tips and tricks, cosplayer interviews, anime reviews, editorials, links to our social media pages for convention and cosplay coverage, all that and a lot more at animejamsession.com. And don't forget to follow us on our social media pages. It's Anime Jam Session on YouTube, Twitter, and Facebook. Please follow us on those so you know when we have some new stories to share, new photos, videos, when our podcast is going live, articles, all that and so much more. And if you really enjoyed the show, tip us. Down below is a link to our Stream Elements, Streamlabs, and Ko-Fi if you want to throw us some cash monies, we'd appreciate. If you want, you can cheer us on with bits, and we love that too. And you can also sub to the channel and give out gift subs. We appreciate all of that. And all that goes back into the site to keep things going. So now we're going to go around the room. Last words, Mako-chan.
I am very, very tired.
My last words is I'm very, very hungry. I came in from taking care of some stuff. It came straight to the podcast. So I'm going to edit, eat, and go to bed. Well, that is it. End of list. We may be back next week with a new episode. If not, we'll be back the following week. But you will know. Please stay tuned to our social media and websites for information regarding that. So we're going to get up on out of here. So I'm Ranma.
And I am Mako-chan.
Great fight. Great night. See you next week.
Good night.
Say goodnight, Mako-chan.
Good night, Mako-chan.
Awesome. Awesome. We're going to get up and out of here. And Gamer Girl X says good night. So good night to you as well. We're out of here. See you all next week.
This podcast has been a production of Anime Jam Session and AJS Productions. No fanboys and fangirls were hurt, maimed, shot, electrocuted, or pistol whipped in this episode. For now. The views, opinions, and thoughts expressed on this show do not reflect the staff or the network as a whole. But we're still right, damn it. For transcripts of this episode, start typing. Check us out at animejamsession.com and vognetwork.com for more information about us and other programming. Jamatane!